Hello, and welcome to Becky's House of Sewing. I'm Becky. This is my house of sewing. It's my video podcast where I talk about all things thread and needle. Mostly cross stitch, mostly quilting, but you might see something else pop in if it has a thread and a needle. Some of you know who have watched me for a while know my neighbor Ron. Ron introduced me to his son as the woman who used to do podcasts or videos. It's been a month. Oops. Summer's been really busy. Ironically, I've been kind of surprised at how busy it is, especially since some of my sewing groups have not really been meeting. I've managed to fill the time, as you will see. So buckle up. It's my birthday month, and so I am now 49. My dad's birthday is July 10th. My mom and I celebrate a birthday together on the 17th. My niece was in town visiting her grandparents. We were away for a week. We've gotten a new dog. We've been dog training. So I've been busy. I have still managed to stitch and complete a project and accumulate a lot of things in the name of vacation and birthday. So I'm excited to share all that with you. I don't really know exactly where I've left off, so I'm just going to show you all my whips, and then I can talk about life stuff as I talk about my haul, because haul is fun. And so let's do it, shall we? Where's the first whip I want to talk about? Oh, it's right here. Already misplacing things. So, I don't know that I've done anything on Mrs. Campbell in a while, but this is Mrs. Campbell from Hands Across the Sea. That's what I've done. You can see my waist knot is still in there in the letter D. That's my little waist knot for the E. I'll snip that off and then weave the threads back underneath. These are all Algerian eyelets on this bottom, larger alphabet. So usually I prefer a waist knot to get started. This is all 103 Verswa silks. I think they're Verswa. I mean, I know it's the same company, but all the different names mean a different thread thickness, and I don't really remember, but they're 103s for sure. It's 46 count tabby cat, which has been a struggle for me. I absolutely love it. I think the coverage is beautiful. It just takes a lot of brain power to look at it, make sure I have the right lighting, the right magnification. So what I decided today, as I was kind of cleaning up, because I need to clean. But I think I might try the 103s on a 40 count and see if I like the coverage. And if I do, I might be willing to restart it. I am, I would probably say I'm about a quarter of the way through, maybe not even. So it's not an extraordinary loss if I stop where I'm at, but I kind of also feel like it's been a lot of work, so I kind of don't want to stop. I've talked about it almost every time that I pick it up, that I might just start it on new fabric. It's still up in the air. For 4th of July, I got this little whip out. This is Chessie and Me, and I couldn't find the picture, so I apologize. This is a little Americana flag. I finished up, this is 1/1 stitching. The words are. The flag is 1/2. It's some kind of silks. I think it's Gloriana. It came as a kit. So I did all the white part on the 4th of July in that week and finished up the 1/1. I feel like I got better. I did not stitch it as charted exactly. Nobody's gonna know. And there's a border and some birds and whatnot. I have a feeling I'll be stopping that soon. But it sure is pretty. And who doesn't like an American flag? God bless America. Let's see. I got some threads here. We don't need to, it's just DMC. It's the DMC threads that I thought were the right colors for cedar waxwing. I saw on, what's her name, Katie Strachan's videos that she did the cedar waxwing by, what is this, Not Forgotten Farm. And she did a silk color conversion, and I don't like the color conversion that she did. And I love a waxwing. Growing up, I remember a print we had of the cedar waxwings from like a Audubon Society print, and so I just reminds me of it, and I really like the yellow and the orange. The colors I got from for the DMC for this, they're really brown. Cedar waxwings are like grays, like light browns, and it kind of looks gray in here, but so I'm gonna have to figure out my own color conversion. But this is what I did so far. Oh, I still have a thread, so pardon the thread, and I also didn't iron it, so you're welcome. See how brown that is? This is not a cedar waxwing, but isn't it pretty? This is 40 count platinum from Zweigart, and I'm using one strand of DMC over 2 linen threads. So I've stopped that project dead in its tracks, because I want to get the colors right for the cedar waxwing. This is not cross stitch, but as promised, it's a needle and thread. So in January, I forced my mother and her cousin to come to a wool applique class from the Charlotte Quilters Guild in North Carolina. Forced them. It was very mean that way. Had a little thimble in it. And so this is from the Rusty Crow over in the Outer Banks. If you have never been, you should go. Ooh, sorry for the lighting. This was our class project. It is now on sale at the Rusty Crow, so you can buy your own copy. It is hand-dyed felt and Valdani thread. And of course, my mother and her cousin, who's also my cousin, just to be clear, but it's easier because it's her first cousin. It's easier to say my mom's cousin instead of my first cousin once removed, which is what she is. Love is still there regardless. They're done with theirs. I didn't get much further than the class, so I was able to get some of the chain stitching. You see the variegated threads that kind of go up, indicating that the water is moving. I was able to work on that during a sit and sew last Saturday at Serendipitous, which got me into a little bit of trouble, which we'll talk about later in haul. But that's fun that I got a little bit more progress done on her. But my true love has been Unicorn, a Peacock, and a Badger by the Scarlet Letter. This is what I've done so far. It's still, I'm a slow stitcher. Not that, that sounds like an apology, but yeah. It's very fun. This is quite addicting. Apparently Siri thinks I'm talking to her. Make sure she's not responding. If you like coloring, then this is the piece for you, because you basically do an outline and then you fill it in. You do an outline and you fill it in. It's very fun. So I'm enjoying that quite a bit, and I stitch on it fairly regularly because it's my favorite. And that, my friends, is really all I have been working on as in current whips. Ron, Connie, do you remember what that means? Work in progress. I did mention that I do have a finished object, and I'm going to show it to you. I'm sure my mom won't mind ahead of time because it is her gift that I was supposed to bring for her birthday, really for Mother's Day, you know, perpetual gifts. And I showed it to, I know for sure I showed this in the last thing, but I hadn't gotten it fully finished yet. So here are my Fox's View, and this is by Plum Street. She does several little stacked guys, and I did a navy back, did my label, did some cute buttons on here, and then I used Lady Dot velveteen and whip stitched it on, and then used a toothbrush, as Vonna taught me, to kind of fluff it up. It might still need some fluffing. I stuffed it with walnut shells, which is also lizard litter, and I used some polyfill in there so I could sew it up and it not spill out everywhere. But isn't it cute? My mama lives in Boone, and there was a year that she saw foxes on the regular, so it made me think of her. So yay, finished object. Woo! Now on, oh, I guess I can show you this too. I had an idea of making cards, so I've been using some of my scraps to make cards. I've made a couple of other ones, but they're kind of falling apart. So this is the style where I actually sew through both sides. Otherwise, let me show you. It just ends up looking like that on the back. You can't really write anything, so you have to, you know, get another cardstock. So I thought gluing them would be fine, but it's not. It's kind of falling apart, so I need to sew them together. But isn't that fun? A chance to use my decorative stitches and my last little bits of fabric. I can show you the fronts of the other ones I did. I did that one. And I did that one. Kind of fun. So, look forward to finishing those up. And then, I've gotten more materials to, my mother-in-law needs some more placemats. I want to make some more project bags. Not that I need more projects, but I kind of have this idea that I might sell some project bags. We'll see. But let's get on to the good stuff. What have I bought in the last month? As I mentioned, my niece was in town visiting her grandparents, and when I got up there, the first point of business was to take her to Cheap Joe's. If you are into any kind of art craft, I highly recommend. There is a location in Charlotte as well as in Boone. We went to the one in Boone, and we just went nuts. My niece, as most of her family, is also very artistic and creative. She falls in line with that. She does a lot of drawing, and she's not too shabby, people, if I do say so myself. So, of course, any kind of art or office supply I couldn't pass up either. So I had to get a couple things as well. And they sell this Fabriano line. I've already got some stains on it. I got one last year when we went shopping. So I got an orange one as well. And they have graph paper on the inside of them. I like a good graph paper. And then I got a bunch of pens. Woo! So I really like a good gel pen. And this is the Zebra line, and they are this on the clip. So I got several different colors there, and let's see, try to keep all my art supplies together. There was one other, I got some markers, retractable markers, and I can't find, oh, here they are. I covered them up with my finished project. So I haven't played with these yet, but how bad could it be? Retractable markers. All right. So let's just start while we're in the mountains. We went to the Mountain Thread Company as well. You may follow them or seen them at a quilt show or seen them on Instagram. This lady, Catherine, created Mountain Thread Company. Excuse me. I'm trying to find the book in my careful pile here. It's a company that does rope craft projects, like so. She has recently put out a book, and I just knocked some of my stuff over. Hold on. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Pardon me. Mom had gotten the book, and of course I want to be exactly like my mother. So I got the book after. I don't know why I didn't think about buying it while I was there, but I didn't. But I did get a thing of rope to make some projects, and I got some thread. Now, some of this thread I didn't get at Thread Mountain Company, but they do have these variegated, and there's one more variegated thread floating around. Do you see those colors? And no, Siri.
Color is the visual perception.
I'm not talking to you, Siri. Silly Siri. There's a brown and ivory one too floating around. Very similar. So I got some threads, got some rope. Now I got the book. So I'm all ready to make some projects with that. Do I need more projects? No, that's not the point. And then I'm just going to go through my pile, kind of. When I got back from vacation, so I'm also popping around, there's a new cross-stitch store opening in Irmo, South Carolina, called the Stitchin' Kitten. So some of my stitch buddies got organized, and we drove down and supported the new store, and I got some threads and a couple of charts, and now I can see this thread here. I got some cherry cobbler from Classic Colorworks. I got some DMCs for another project. Let's see if I can disturb my piles here and get to my other stuff, my other charts. Do 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 do. All right, welcome back to this part of the show. I got a Blackbird book, Blackbird Designs book. I really like that round house in the top. Might do that one. Here's another picture of it on the back. But I do love a good eagle with a flag too. So who knows what I'll do. And then I got a biscornu. This shape is called a biscornu, and I've kind of been jonesing to do one. So I saw this pattern and I liked both the front and the back. So I got that as well. I also am a sucker for some scissors. So I got my first pair of stork scissors. These are Bowen stork scissors. And I also got this pretty red handled pair. Do I need them? No. Do I need to have lots of scissors? Yes. Then in June, I ordered something from the Stitchers Merchant in Australia. They had an exclusive from Fox and Rabbit, this pretty design. I really like the birds. I'm not really a sampler girl with a house. I don't know why, they don't appeal to me. But I really like the border and I like the motifs on it, so I said I could get it and just make part of it. And then they had an exclusive fabric from Fox and Rabbit too. This is Fox and Rabbit Dust Bunny. It's kind of got a gray tinge to it. Got some nice modeling, you can kind of see in that. And this is 40 count. I got a fat quarter of it. And that's reminds me of a lesson that my mother has always taught me, to always get the big one. Now I wish I had gotten a fat half, but you make the best decisions with the information you have at the time. Look at this cute card that came with it. Isn't that fun? It's kind of a waxy glossy, you can kind of see the texture in it. It's a little thank you card saying tag us. So I look forward to doing that. Oh, when I was at the art store, I also got these pins. Aren't they fun? As well. I'm just kind of obviously going through my pile, so pardon moi as I do so. Let's see. Oh, while I was at Mountain Thread Company, I don't know why I can't say a name. I got some fabric. Why? I don't have a good answer for that, but look how cute. Squirrels. I got these scissors. I got this guy here. Look how cute this bird is. And then I like this bird too. He's a little funky looking. And this is a little Tula Pink action. This guy is really cute. I don't know what company this is, but I like that scene. And then this is cute ladybugs. Look how cute. And then one with mushrooms. So, got that fabric. Just put that right there. On Saturday when I went to Sit and Sew, we had a Sit and Sew at Serendipitous. It was on a Wednesday, so I could actually go. Well, not a Saturday. I think I may have said Saturday. It was a Wednesday. I normally can't go to Sit and Sew with the Guild because they usually only have them on Saturdays. And I'm a retail girl, so I work on Saturdays. So I sang happy birthday to myself at the shop. Gingerbriar or Gingerbur, the same company that does this kind of pattern, they have a new line out, so I got, look how pretty that bee is, and some companion pieces. It's black and gold, some ivory and gold. Here's another bug one. I like the bugs. Here's the black and white of the other, black and pink of the other, and then I got another colorway of the bee. Showing you how much I paid for it, not that it matters. Here, let me just take this off. Just rip that off. But look how cute that bee is. Isn't that bee handsome? So I got that fabric, so hopefully I can have enough. I got a charm pack of a similar line that has the golds and the blacks. So I'm hoping this blends enough with them so that I can finish a project bag or something with that. I got a small iron mat so that maybe I could put it in a project mat. I was thinking the wool applique, well, I was going to say walrus, but it is a whale. When I do the French knots, I really need something like this to kind of stab into so I can do the French knot well. And the other smaller size I had was kind of too big to put in a project bag. So I got that guy. My mom's friend Megan Shine was there, and she twisted my arm and made me get this cute pattern. Isn't that cute? I got these little cleaning tools. I like that they were kind of rubberized, so maybe I could just rinse them off and use them again. I got another little project bag charm. Because you can't have too many. Another pair of scissors. Now this is Karen K. Buckley. They're serrated edges. This will complete my collection of sizes. And these are really nice to kind of conserve the fraying of material that you're cutting. Because it is serrated, it kind of mushes it into itself so it doesn't fray as easily. So when you're doing applique or you're doing, cutting the edge of something, it's nice to have. They are wonderful scissors. She just retired. May she enjoy her retirement. And then the other day, again, going back to the mountains, my auntie gave me a cute little present. Look how cute that is. Have I already got it stained up? Good for me. Yep. And inside it, of course, are some beautiful threads. Let me show you those. These two are classic color works. Aren't they pretty? These three are the Karen collection wildflowers. They're hand dyed. I believe they're cotton. Yeah, hand dyed cottons. Look how pretty those are. See the variegation in them. And then I got two Gentle Arts. Those colors there. So pretty. Thank you officially, Auntie Lou. I will look forward to having the right project for that. Then I saw on a newsletter from the Quilt Patch, which is one of my local quilting stores, that they were doing a class on Jen Kingwald Halo. I've always liked how it looks. And of course, it's a challenge and requires templates. More things to buy? Perfect! Sign me up! So this is the pack that the templates came in. So I got the pattern and the template and signed up for the class. Other things that I've done, not bought, but done. My Aunt Mary Lou asked me to make her some of these guys. I have this pattern saved on my Cricut, and it's how I do my flosses now. It's just an easy way to pull off some threads and kind of keep them nice and neat, and they're fun to look at. So I just write the number and the symbol on it. I don't worry too much about having multiple symbols on them, or I could always just make a new card. So I just get I get heavy duty cardstock and make them. So Auntie Lou, hopefully I can get these to you before you leave North Carolina. But if not, I have your address in Florida too. She's up and visiting. I think that is all I have. I also obviously got the rest of these threads. I got those at Serendipitous as well. I don't have a specific project in mind, but I just liked having those colors on hand. This color, a lot of the quilters I follow, when they piece, they use a light gray color instead of a white, and I actually like this color a lot. It's kind of a buttercup type color. It's not too bright, and I use it a lot, so I bought another spool of it. just to make sure I don't run out. Can't have that. And then I did get some grays and darker colors too. Nice things, nice to have, so when you do a decorative stitch, it'll be more fun. But I think that's pretty much all my stuff. Oh, I forgot pins. These orange pins, they're 0.4 millimeters, so they're very thin. They're kind of designed for silks, but I have discovered I like a very slim pin. So I added that already to my collection. Look how cute that looks in my little magnetic sewing pin. Okay, that's really it. That's all I've gotten. Mia Louise, stop pacing. I've got Mia locked in here with me. As far as dog training goes, it's going. We are not a happy, conducive family as yet, but we are getting closer to that, so that's exciting. And we're just going to keep working on it till we get there. Plans. I plan to clean up a little bit, but in order to clean up, I'm going to reward myself with some sewing. I want to, the class for this quilt is in August, so I'm going to start collecting things for that and maybe making a project bag for this so that I can just kind of pile things together. I know that there's techniques for cutting out the circles or the quarter circles. So what I think I might do, see the square in a square, which is that little block right there. That's easy to see, or this little block here, or that little block there. I might fussy cut some of those squares because I think that's fairly straightforward, and have that kind of ready. I need a 28 millimeter rotary cutter, which I have an old one of my mother's, but did I buy a new one? Yes, I did. Because I really find that my grip is better when I have an ergonomic version, and Olaf has an ergonomic version of this. So, and Lord only knows how old this blade is. Not that I can't buy new blades, but why have one cutting thing when you can have multiples? It's my philosophy, if you haven't picked that up yet on the scissor situation. So I'm going to do that. I am this next couple weeks going to buy an online course to learn to maintenance my machine. It's about $250, which in 1.5 times of maintaining my machine, I will have paid for that, because maintaining my machine costs anywhere between $130 to $170. So I'd like to learn how to do it myself. And, you know, in hopes to see if I really like it, and then in my retirement days, maybe have a sewing machine repair shop. Who knows? That would be fun for me. Anyway, I think it would be fun. I have dreams of grandeur that it might be fun. So we'll see how I like it and go from there. And I think that is all I have, really. I'm looking around to make sure. I did pick up my sewing room a little bit. I just brought in all my cross-stitch stuff that I had kind of around my sewing area and behind my couch, and I just had stuff shoved everywhere. I do have a 3-tier cart out in the living room as well, but that's kind of neat and orderly. But I need to make, as my husband says, I'm making order. I need to kind of put some things away, make it nice and neat and inviting to come and play in my sewing room, because I really haven't had the time nor desire to come in here, because it's kind of been a little bit of a mess. I see my dog has made her bed how she wants it, which means she's thrown the cushion out of it. I don't know why less padding is more comfortable, but Apparently it is. Other than that, I'm going to let you guys go. Hopefully see you sooner than a month. But who knows? Life is busy. Ron is quilting, so hopefully we can get Ron to come over and we can do a partnership video. We can see what he's been up to, because I'm sure everybody would like to see what he's been doing. Other than that, you guys have a great couple weeks, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.